Well, are you ready? Today is the launch of Steampunk for Everyone, and I predict that you are going to love this collection. There's so many things, and there are so many ways that you can use them. In fact, this is just one. Look at this. So it's got the pattern cardstock and the cutouts. We can get in closer and just give you a really close look, and that's part of the cutting dies. Okay, won't you please come play with us? Well, before we get into the projects, let me just show you what's part of this collection. Now, I have done what we call a product video, and it is on every one of the products, but let me just walk you through this, just so you really can see exactly what's going on. So these are the 12 by 12 papers. You're going to get 2 of each. There are 12 sheets. They're all double-sided, and you're also going to get 116 cutouts, and that's part of this collection. So let me show you a close-up of every single sheet, and we can talk about why it's called Steampunk for Everyone. Now, this might be what you would consider steampunk. That's what you've come to expect, although there are a couple of things going on. Look at all the colors in that hot air balloon. You don't usually see that in steampunk. And right down here, we'll get in closer so you can see, we have a little gnome sitting there with his car. That's a fun little aspect too. And you'll notice that some of these are horizontal and some are vertical. We'll back up a little bit, and you can see that there are 2 borders that just get cut out. So that's also a nice add. And there is the back of it with lots of gears in this brown and orange color scheme. Now we have some animals. Aren't they absolutely darling? With some charming little guys, as well as some just absolutely gorgeous ones. Again, 2 borders. And on the back side, it's a green texture with some gears along the edge. Now here is one of the sheets that is totally unexpected with all the flowers. I don't think you've seen that before. Well, I certainly haven't anyway. We've got one large border, and isn't this beautiful? Also, this kind of leads me to tell you that when you think of steampunk, you might think of browns, blacks, maybe copper, just those kind of tones. But look what we have here. We've got red, orange, yellow, blue, lots of beautiful things. On the back side, we have a red background with all of those flourishes. Now we have more animals, including that darling cat. We've got this elephant that's absolutely gorgeous. And again, 2 borders. And on the back, we have, kind of looks like a blueprint, also with more texture going on. Here is another unexpected steampunk. We have things that flutter. So we have butterflies all down here. We have dragonfly, we have ladybug, and 2 border prints. And I'll show you some ways to use those. On the back side, isn't that pretty? It also has the flying things on it. Here are the cutouts that you would expect to see, but again, there's over 100 in this set, and you're going to get 2 of each. Now, some of them have the art, and some have words to go with them. You can mix and match and layer them if you like. And then on the back side, there is this very distressed sheet. So you can see lots of colors and masculine and feminine designs, and that's what makes it steampunk for everyone. Now, for our scrapbookers, I want to make sure that we show you a scrapbook page, and here it is. This is on the back of the package, and right there. But let me just give you a close-up, and you can see that beautiful gold sheet has been trimmed down and fit onto a solid cardstock, which I'll show you in a moment. Here is the motorcycle cutout with another cutout, Thankful for You, and these are some of the border strips, and we have our photo double matted, and then we've added some gears, and I'll be showing you those in a minute too. You can see those sparkle. Okay, so that is our steampunk patterned cardstock. Let me now show you the steampunk solid. Now again, you might think of steampunk in terms of blacks and browns, but look at the colors. We have a whole rainbow going on, and let me show them to you up close. And there are 12 sheets, and on one side you're going to get 1 shade of the color, and there's a darker shade or a lighter shade on the other side. Very often, I'll tell you, make some very fun cards, and when you're using cutting dies, gives you lots and lots of options. So this is neat. Now you're going to get 2 of each one, and there you go. So that's going to work very, very nicely. And that is ready for you. Now there's also a 6x6. We'll get in closer so you can take a look at that. There are 4 of each sheet. They're just like the 12x12 that I just showed you, so I won't show them to you again. But you also get 232 cutouts. Did you hear me? 232. That's right. So that's a bonus. Now we also have our die cuts. They number 31 in the set, and you get 2 sheets, 2 different sheets. And this is what they look like. So you also have all of them have the art, but some of them also have greetings and some of them don't. So again, you can layer, you can do some fun things. These are just going to pop right out and you can attach them to your projects nicely. And there are ideas, because this is from hot off the press, there are ideas on the back of all of them. Now we also have chipboard, and we'll get in close on this chipboard just so I can really show you. Look at all of the detail art that has been done. Now that's just going to make it so much easier to color these in. And you can see there's flowers, butterflies, as well as some of the things that you would expect to have in steampunk. Last but certainly not least, we have our steampunk dies. And this is just gorgeous. There are 14 dies, the gears you would expect, but we also have some layering going on. In fact, I think the best way to show this to you is to share one of the cards. And it is right here. There you go. Now we'll get in close so you can really appreciate this. And look at that elephant. Do you see how dimensional he looks? Well, what Debbie did is she did the full elephant, and then she did the trunk as a separate piece, foam taped it on top, and brushed the solid cardstock with an ink pad just to give a little bit more dimension, and a crystal on the top. Now, the gears are out of brown holographic cardstock, and don't they look pretty just tucked under the flowers and around them? So just really gorgeous. I think this is just drop dead gorgeous. Now, the Steampunk for Everyone, as I said, there are 14 dies, and that gorgeous elephant is right on the back of it. Okay, let's get into our projects that Lene has done, and we'll start with this one. And this is done on the 5x7 tent cards from our friends at Hunky Dory. And what this means is that the fold is at the top, unlike our normal cards. So, okay, that's going to work nicely. Now, what Lene has done is she has covered the front of her card with this patterned cardstock. And let me just show it to you. It is all those gears, and you might remember it's on the back of that first sheet, so this, and there it is. So she has covered that whole card front, but then she cut 1 inch from the bottom of it, so that 1 inch, and saved that to glue on the inside of the card. Now, when in doing that, she then later on is going to foam tape this piece a little bit higher so that it becomes a closure on this card. So that's clever. I haven't seen that before. But let's go back to our card front. And as you saw on the sheet, so this is the back, but she cut this piece out. Now this is 4 by 5.5, and that's all of them in this pack. And so that's going to work beautifully on the front of her card. Now she did take that hot air balloon and she matted it on our red brush diamond paper. And you can just see, well, in fact, let me pull this out so you really get a better look, because this paper is pretty wonderful in person. Okay, here we go. Look at that. It shimmers. It is lightweight, which makes it great for cutting, for matting, as she has done here. And you can see that little narrow mat sure goes a long way. It really brings out the red in that hot air balloon. So that's what's going on there. The other thing that's going on is that she has used the fab foil. You can see it here and here. You want to get that on probably next. And this is what the package looks like. And to place that on, let me just show you a quick demo. In fact, all you'll do is use a glue stick, and I'm just going to do it right down here so I don't get glue stick on my table. Just rub that, super easy, and then take a bit of the gold, and I'll just open up my excess. I keep my pieces that I've started using in the back of the package. Just makes it a little bit easier. And you want to place this foil side up, so you want to see the color. Simply place it there, rub it, just like so, and then lift this, and look what it does. It just appears. So easy. It's nice that you can even control it. And so be sure, don't throw this away, because you can use every tiny, tiny piece of this fab foil. It's absolutely great. I love it for edging things. I love it for so many things, but you can see what it does here on those two, well, I guess she did it on 3 sections. Okay, we'll set that aside. So on this, then she also used the gold cardstock with her die, and the die that she used is the gears, and the gears are just really popular because they go so many places, and just right there. Now you can do multiples of these and overlap and glue them should you want to do maybe a border or something like that, so that would work nicely too. Okay, well that takes care of our card front, and as I said, she after you cover the card front, she cut off the bottom 1 inch, and she's going to foam tape it on the inside. And this is a cutout from that pack, and she's foam taped that in place too. Now the teal color is coming from the solid cards, obviously, and a piece has been glued there. Now I have written all the directions for you. They're down below. Just click on the card and you'll see all the measurements, and that way I don't have to be giving them to you verbally. Remember, I talked about the borders that are on all of the sheets. Well, here's one way to use it. She's just got it across the top, and it's this particular border. That worked nicely. And Take Flight, well, Take Flight is one of the cutouts. In fact, it's right here on that sheet. And doesn't it look nice just right up there? Now, you're also seeing more things having been cut with the cutting dies and the gold. Now, there's another of the gears, but there's the butterfly. And we'll get in close so that you can see that this too is layered like the elephant. So the wings are a separate piece. Now you could do different colors of these if you wanted to. There's also a separate body. Now Lene didn't use it, but you could if you wanted to. So just lots of possibilities. Now she did put 2 of the gold jewel dazzles. Those are the ones that come with over 500 on the sheet right there. And Wishes is right at the top, and that is out of the new brown script greeting dazzles. And there are 3 different sheets in that package, and that just came out actually I think last week. So that's nice. And in with the cards, you're going to have your envelopes. So that's going to be nice. Just lift that to tuck it under, and you are set to put that in the mail and make somebody very happy. Okay, let me show you something else that Lene did. And this is really fun. I'm going to first open it all up. So we have our kitty, and then we have that little bear, and then we have a little pocket, and then we have our mouse, and then we have our duck proclaiming happy birthday at the very end. Okay, so just like that. I think those are so fun because there's just kind of a surprise inside as you keep opening it. Okay, so how did she do that? Well, let me show you. Let me show you the cardstock that she used. She used a solid, and it is a darker brown on one side and a lighter a darker gray and a lighter gray. So you can see the lighter gray, there you go, is on the front, and on the inside is the darker gray. But she used that cardstock and she cut 2 pieces. So let me just show them to you. Okay, I'm going to slip this off. So we have one piece that's 8.5 by 5 3/4. 5 3/4 is our height. And then you're just simply going to score it in half and fold it. So that's one piece, 8.5 by 5 3/4. The second piece is 10.5 by 5 3/4. Now this one, you're going to go from the left and measure 2 inches and score that piece. And then I'm just going to turn this under, and then you take this and score it in half. So what you have is this long piece and the shorter piece. What's going to happen, remember that pocket that we had? Well, this, after these get covered with our papers, this is going to get glued on 3 sides, right on top of this card, and that's going to create our quadruple section of cards. So we've got our front and 3 pieces on the inside, okay? Again, those measurements are in the instructions. So now that we've got our cards put together, I think what you want to do is get them all decorated before you assemble them, because you want that pocket to not to get in the way. Okay, so we're going to start with our kitty, and our kitty is right here on this sheet. And same size as I showed you with the first one. They're 4 and 5.5, so that's going to work nicely. So let's just get him glued on. Then we'll go to our next one, which is that little bear. There he is in all his glory. Going to glue him right there. Then we're going to take the green, remember that? We're going to trim that down to be the same size. We're going to cover that 3rd section, so 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go here and do the mouse and the duck and just glue those in place. Now, Lene used a ink pad on this, and I'm pretty sure it was the cocoa bean. It'll have it in the directions. And so you can use that. Cocoa bean and velvet fawn are the 2 browns that we kind of use quite a bit, and just kind of do the edges. So you can see that this has got a darker edge on the smaller card, and then we've got the lighter color on this piece. So after you've got those in place, then we're going to attach the pocket over this piece. Remember, this is how it goes. So let me just show you. Okay, there's that piece. We'll back up just a little bit to get both of those in the frame. Okay, there you go, like that. And then this piece, you will have already put your mouse and your duck. You've got the green piece here, and then we're going to put extra sticky tape on 3 edges and overlap that so that this stays open, right? Yes, are you shaking your head? Yes? Okay, I can see that. Then we're going to cut this out. This is one of the cutouts. Your imagination is endless, and just slip it under there. That's that same border that I had just showed you, so that's used. And then she has also used a couple of other things, shiny things mostly. You can see that this is the gold studs, and doesn't that look nice there? She also has used, let me flip back to the front of the card, she's used some of these gears. And there are, I believe, 15 or more in here. They are metal. We do get these from Australia, and you can just attach them with specialist glue, is I believe what Lene used. I like to use sticky specs, so either one is just perfect. And there is that stud again. Now you see the jute that's wrapped right there? Well, that comes obviously from our jute collection, and she's just chosen 2 colors, the tan and the yellow, and she has simply wrapped them around that card fold and tied them in the front, and that's the only place that she used it. Now, a couple of other things are going on. Do you see the brown and gold border dazzles at the top? Well, the whole sheet looks like this, and that's just gorgeous. And I think that she also, yes, she also used it right there. And those are the only places. Now, let's get to those greetings. Those greetings are the same ones that were used in the first card, and that's out of the brown greeting dazzle set, that brand new set. And just to show you again, so just for you is just going right across the bottom. Nothing on this piece. Well, actually, Have a Great Day is from the die cuts. This is also one of the die cuts, and doesn't that perfectly? So both of these are foam taped in place. And then Happy and Birthday, and those 3 hearts are all from that same set. And you can see there's little flowers, there's hearts, on these sheets. So you've got some extra little embellishments. So that just makes this quite fun. Now, if you wanted to do this with all of the mechanical things, we certainly have enough. You could also do them with all the butterflies or all the flowers. And there's just a lot of things that you can do with them. In fact, let me just show you a couple of other ideas with the flowers. Here is one card, and this is actually on the back of the package. And this is using the chipboard and having tapped that with a gold ink pad. Isn't that gorgeous? Here is another of the flowers, and this also has gears on it, so that's fun. And then here happens to be another one of the flowers. So again, I just want you to know that it is steampunk for everyone. Okay, we're going to get now into our third project, and this is using one of our cutting dies, and this is the stadium. So let me show you that. This is what it looks like, and it has these 4 pieces. All of the directions are in the package right there. Super simple to put together. In fact, you simply die cut this back piece. In fact, let me show you the package. Okay, so this piece, and I thought it was really fun that Lene cut that out of this area. Isn't that neat? And you can really see it, even though this does have a very masculine look. She's used the chipboard. I think that's really fun because it's got all the gears and so forth. And look at the colors. Aren't they gorgeous together? So that, and then, so that was the back piece. All of the other pieces were cut out of the solid, and that happens to be this sheet. And it's going to be a lighter color on the back side, just like that. Now, let's get in closer to it. And I want to point out that around the base of it, she has used this border, this wider border. Doesn't that look great? Again, mixing the masculine and feminine, which is just always fun. Okay, now going into, I'll go ahead and do the die cuts while we're here. So Have a Great Day is foam taped. This little puppy is just glued to one of the crossbars. Right here, you see 2 of them, and you attach the crossbars and this piece with extra sticky tape. Extra sticky tape is our favorite, and this is the kind with the red liner. So again, the directions are right there with the dies, so you're not going to get lost by any way, shape, or form. And then let's again go to the chipboard. So as I said, the chipboard just has such detail. It's wonderful that we can do that. And I just wanted to show you, Lene just used 2 of the tri-blend markers. So she used the ice gray, and you can see that especially on the hat, as well as on the wheels. And then she also used the tan, which is what the car is, and then some details on the hat, as well as the 2 gear pieces. So those are just simply colored. And what's really nice is because all of that art is there, you can just kind of scribble it on and it just works beautifully. So look at that. Now let's turn it over because we want to do something on the back side. May every day be an adventure. That's one of the die cuts. Isn't that fun? Now this is going to fold flat like so, and it will fit right in our 10 envelopes package. So just like that, it's going to fit perfectly. So we kind of never leave you hanging. So that's going to work well. Isn't that cute? Absolutely charming. So just think of all the other things you can do with this collection. Okay, I have one more project. And this is an interesting one because it's using our coin envelopes. And I'm not sure if you have seen those before, but let me just show you on the front. Lene has wrapped a brown ribbon around it, so I'm just going to open this just so that you can see that coin envelope all by itself. You get 2 of them in the package, and the way it goes is that this will open, and that will open, and these will spread, and how fun is that? She's made a pocket. Our Lene just loves pockets, and the artwork is going to fit perfectly because she has used the 6x6 patterned cardstock. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to go back to the front. We'll start here. So she has used, whoops, okay. So that, remember that yellow? She's used this on the 2 flaps. And that's, so simply, you're just going to put your adhesive along the edges and then position your cardstock, open it up, turn it over, and trim it to fit. And that's how you're going to do every single area of this. That way you can position whatever art you want wherever you want. So we had the bee on the left side, so we're going to let that clock be on the right-hand side. That's going to work nicely. Then she used the blue on the flaps. So again, same thing, put glue, place this, turn it over, trim it to fit. Same thing on the bottom flap. Now on the inside, she has used that red that I showed you, and that's just going to be on the inside. So you want to measure that, cut your piece a little bit smaller, and glue it on. Now, this little pocket is also using that yellow that we used at the beginning. And so again, just be sure to only glue it on 3 edges to leave that pocket open. Now here we have this piece. And again, same thing, just put glue, press this down, turn it over, and trim it with your scissors. Okay, so that's all of them. But those are the back sides. Let's go to the front sides too. So the front of it, we have these 2 little guys. So we have that butterfly, and we have this bee. You can see those being tucked in. And may your day be the best. That is right here on our cutouts. Also, all geared up to celebrate. That's right here. So that's going to work nicely. And then we've got some of the chipboards. We've got the chipboard right here. Now these have been colored with more tri-blend markers. It happens to be the gold brown right here. And because you get 3 shades in one pen, you can do exactly what Lene has done. You can make some different shades. So I'm going to push this in. Oh, I'm going to do that and then push this in and then do this. And look at the butterfly. Isn't that pretty? We'll get in super close. Again, look at all the artwork that's done for you. And so she used the true blue and the tan, the gold brown right there. Just gorgeous. Now, for her hugs, that's that same brown script dazzle, so that's going to work. You can use it on any of them. Remember that ribbon? Well, clever woman, she put one of the cutouts on the back, and it's sandwiched over the ribbon, so that's going to hold it in place, and then you can bring it to the front and simply tie a bow. And that just makes it very, very easy. You can position that bow wherever you want it. And then again, just like our last project, you can tuck this into the 10 envelopes, and that's going to work very, very nicely. So our brown ribbon collection has lots of different widths, and that's what makes it so useful for so many projects. Okay, I feel like I've been talking a mile a minute, but there's just so much that you can do. So just to recap, we have Steampunk for everyone, and I think that you will probably agree that we've made a good case for everyone. That's the 12 by 12. We have the solid. We have the coordinating die cuts. We have the 6 by 6, as well as the chipboard and the cutting dies, all of them in this package. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, we do have a money saver because we always have a money saver. It's on the right-hand side of your screen, and that will give you the best savings on this whole collection. A couple of things. If you will go to paperwishes.com, and if you've signed up to get our newsletters, you will be getting a download for this. So this is some cutouts. You can print these out as many times as you want and use them. So that's nice. That's our way of saying thank you. We do that every month with the art that's coordinating with the release. And of course, as you know, this is the launch of Steampunk for Everyone. The other thing I have is that if you are a VIP, meaning that you have signed up at checkup, and so that the system will automatically calculate your purchases. When you reach $500 in the last 12 months, you will be a VIP and you will get 6 sheets of our newest collection before they launch. And that's just something we do for those very special people. Now, we also have a couple of subscriptions. I'm going to show you this one first. If you would like to get all of this, maybe not the cutting die, okay, so we'll set that aside. If you want to have it all, then this is a subscription for you. What will happen is that you will get them before the webisode. Now, because they're hot off the press and because they have ideas on the back of the package, you will have 6 ideas that you can make immediately, absolutely immediately when this hits your door. Or if you want, oh, and big part, you will save 20%. See how I've made that bigger? You will save 20%. So it's really great. We will do 1 collection every month, but only 1. And that's how it works. Now, okay, Paulette, you made a case for those cutting dies because I do love the elephant and I do love the butterfly. Oh, and the gears are great. Okay, well, I want to have fun with that. So I really want it all. That's everything. Same deal. You'll get it before the webisode. And you will also save 20%. So good deal all the way around. And you'll have all of those ideas in your hot little hands the moment you open up the package. So that's great. Okay, now as I said, there are directions for all of Lene's projects. They are down below. Just click on them. You can print them off if you like. And if you happen to have watched this on YouTube, I want to thank you for doing that. Would encourage you to sign up for a subscription there. Head on over to Paper Wishes and check out all of the items. They are sold separately, but you can get that special deal over on the right-hand side, and you can get the subscriptions, and you can get all of the instructions. So lots of reasons to be here. Okay, I want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank Lene for doing a fabulous idea, and I am really hope that you love this set. I've had many people say that it was just so unexpected and they love having the feminine and the masculine in one package. So let me know how you feel. Okay, I want to thank you and thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. And you know what? I'll see you tomorrow for another webisode. Bye-bye.